Hello Pisces, welcome to my channel, Joy to the World. I am your reader, Melissa Joy. Now we're taking a peek this week at the topic of healing. This is what came forward, asking to be spoken of and spoken about, and you're saying spoken to and spoken with. All right, so it just seems to be in the shuffling of the decks that there's a bit of an external situation going on, some relationships, some love issues, and like how to heal from past love and past life issues. I'm like past love life issues and whatever else. Some of it can be conditioning from your birth and from your youth, like things, Scorpio, being conditioned to going through difficult situations. Maybe you grew up in abuse or abusive situations. Maybe you grew up with people that didn't keep their word. They expected one thing of you, but they did the other. Like they might say, you need to eat healthy food. Meanwhile, they're shoving trash in their mouth and you're like, you're my parent. What kind of example is that? So it seems to be that there's a little bit of soul sickness going on down inside. So let's get into that bit of a wad. It's a wad. It's like a piece of paper when it's all wadded up. And what's interesting is kind of goldness. A little bit of parchment-y type energy. They're saying go to this. So let's get in here and find out about this wad. What's the wad up in Pisces? Well, there could be wadney wad. Something that seemed like a disadvantage being the thing that makes the world a better place for everyone, including you. Because when it starts to happen, then your eyes start to open and you're like, I did that. And then everybody celebrates you for the very thing that you used to be taunted for. And I can't say that externally people taunted you because you are Pisces. It might have been a taunt in your own mind, a taunt in your own experience, you know, that just that internal wad of the bit of longing or distaste. It's almost like being locked out of your own life, because it's interesting. It said there's the card and it was just stuck this way. Now in this deck there is one of these that comes out. I don't know what it's called. If you want to be seen, you need to show yourself. I'm not searching the deck for you. So anyways, you're talking about what is very common to everyone, but this is what is uncommon. How generous you are. Even when there weren't more resources, more, you would show up. So maybe adjusting a little bit of the needle of the compass. See like those points right there on the sky, like the hand of a clock. Man, you're talking all enigmatic and stuff right now. I'm like, all right. A little bit of Stonehenge. You got a little bit of power coming up in here, but knowing what that is, how to activate it. We're going to go with the pearl. The garden and the gate. Well, you got a hand. Your hand is your activator. I'm leaning in. I'm like, what you going to say to me here, Pisces? Your hand is the activator. Reach out there and open up the gate. 'Cause you're not a little baby, a little child anymore. You're a grown-ass adult. If you want to go out the gate, open the gate. And then if you get out there and you decide you don't like it, you feel like it, that's not forever and ever, amen. That could be just at this moment. It's not these absolutes. Because then you go out, you find a little, you know, stuff to forage out there, and then you go, I'm ready to go back in the house and cook it. The full spectrum of life, the full spectrum of living, the power is in your hand, the power is in your permission, the power is in the fact that you're an adult and you can make these decisions for yourself. And you don't have to defend yourself or define yourself. That seems to be a big one here. Well, I don't want to be defined by that. You don't have to be defined. Because identity, when we begin to try and define and refine ourselves, we can really lose the openness to limitless possibilities, to infinite healing. Okay, so I get you on that. I hear you, friend. Step out into the sun. So the sun is perpetual. It's ever there. Even when it's dark, it's on the other side of the world, working on your behalf, keeping this whole thing going. And each new day is fresh. And that's getting in with you about you don't have to define it. Just the define that I'm hearing is it says your definition. What do things mean to you? Finding meaning in your life as opposed to purpose, because purpose is not driving you, my friend. And we don't need anything driving you from behind, pushing you along. We're talking about you getting in the center of yourself and deciding, I want to go. Remember her? Where did she go? I don't know where she. I want to go out the gate. I'm going to go out there and forage around and put some pretty things in my basket. And then I'm going to go in the house and put it in a vase. Or I'm going to put it in the stove and I'm going to put it in my mouth. Yeah. All that delights you. Happy, easy, light, innocence. It can have that freshness, that beauty. Maybe some of you want to check out Virgo because that innocence, it's talking about the virginal, the brand new type quality. Maybe even like this sense of being reborn, of not wanting to experience that old life anymore. That wad, because you're like, if I've wadded up the paper and crinkled it, how will it ever become smooth again? Well, you could get a fresh piece of paper and save what you wrote on there that you enjoy. Write it out, and as you're writing it, you might find, oh, I'd like to say it a little bit like this or a little bit like that. It seems to be a love poem to yourself. It seems to be a little bit of romantic. Remember, it started with that locked out on love. Okay to be nostalgic and romantic. Don't be judging yourself. Begin to embrace yourself and think, what is it about this that I do like? And you might find something really interesting in there, okay? You know, it's those nuances of life that make it uniquely you, that give it the meaning, because that's what joy actually is love that has a meaning. Love is universal. It's something that comes into us like the sun does. It makes everything grow, but we decide what we want to put on our plate, what we want to grow in our garden. You see what I'm saying? That's what brings you joy. That's how you love yourself, because it's specific to you. Joy is like your fingerprint. You know, the hand is like love, but joy is like the fingerprint. Owning that, and not like possessing, defining. No, they're talking about that definition of, oh, this is what feels like love to me. This is what feels like love here. Maybe you even lost yourself, ooh, big spider, lost yourself in someone to where you began to just go along and enjoy whatever they did because it was easier. You don't like the arguing. You don't like the struggling, the fighting. It makes you feel less than inside, less loving, less open to life, all right? So you might be on a brand new page of stepping out there and redefining what is you, what feels good, what brings a smile to your face, what makes you feel alive, what is worth the effort. Because when you get into the love, after a few times of regaining and rediscovering yourself, there won't be the effort in it. The effort is really getting all that grave dirt, that 6 feet under off of you so that you could get out and do it. And you're like, is it worth it? That's heavy, and that's a lot of stuff to go through. So maybe start with the things that have been long standing for you. Like for me, I mean, even as a child, walking or biking was freedom. Because when I would go walking, all that shizdizery around my head that everybody plant around me or bark at me or yell at me or call me names or whatever it was, I'd go walking, all of a sudden I'm out there and I'm like, oh, squirrel. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the sunbeam up there. Or my mind would start turning over those things and they would just start dissolving and getting less and less powerful and moving away. And by the time I get home, my legs have been whipping. I'm like, I don't even know what any of that was before. So you could start with some of those life-giving joys like that, right? For me, the biking was like my wheels. You know, I wasn't old enough to drive, but I could feel the wind in my hair. And it was one where I'm going so fast I can't get caught in the details of every little flower, but I'm able to see more things coming at me. So finding those different nuances and flavors of yourself. You don't have to choose which keys you don't want on your piano. You're like, I want the piano, and I want all the keys, and I'd like them tuned, please. That's what we're talking about here. Restoring your life song, your rhythm, your beat. Okay. Interesting. At the bottom we have the Page of Cups. There's that one fish. No, it don't mean you're going to be lonely and forever and ever left out and locked out of yourself. No. A lot of this, there's this new planet coming in. Jupiter was the ruler long ago, and Neptune has been it for a while, which could have to do with the dismal, the disdain, the missing out, the getting swallowed up in other people's dreams or visions, you know. So even though you're there and whatever else and they're all happy inside, you're sort of checked out, you know. You're in your silent secret place, that space where you just still had the visionary and the dreams, right? But that's meant to come forward here. I love it because just like it's the wind in your sails, it's also like a snorkel, like a lifeboat. So maybe you weren't buried under 6 feet of dirt. Maybe you were dropped to the bottom of the sea. But see, Jupiter's coming in. That's an expansive planet. It's a supportive planet. It is a helpful planet. Not here's your agenda and list of things to do. Here's what you need to achieve before I approve it. No, it's literally like, oh, you drowning? Let me get my boat. Hey, when you want to hop on in here, grab my hand. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? How can I help? You seem to have been through a lot. Can you tell me your story? What's been going on? Wow. How did you make it through that? You're like, I don't know. You're not used to people focusing on you for you. You're used to people focusing on you for them, to feed them, to entertain them, to like cut their dreamer on, to inspire them. And you're like, you forgot about yourself. This magic and this support and this Page of Cups that is coming along is a brand new beginning. That's why the head is shaved. They're like, don't look back. Those old ways are not returning. Look within and begin to allow that to come forward. Trust the benefits that are being showed you, and do not, they're warning against, don't, they keep using the word trigger, but it's not like that. Don't let it punch your buttons when favor or privilege starts being shown to you. Like some guilt complex of like, oh, I shouldn't accept that or shouldn't receive that. No, 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 no. Because it could be a little unnerving when everybody's focused on you to be about them. You know, like you're the lucky rabbit's foot. You're the party. You know what I'm saying? The party. For that person who tuned in who can't understand what I'm saying. They're like, I don't understand your words. Well, I'm a Southern girl. Party. No, you're party, right? So when it's being offered to you about you, to focus on you, to nourish you, to nurture you, to uplift you, to allow your story to come forward that you've been so busy living that you couldn't put words to it, it's time now. It's time now, my friend. That old longing and waiting is so far gone. It's so far out there. And I love it because now the generosity spirit has transformed as this is coming towards you as well. And you know, we are stepping towards the season of autumn. We're actually entering Indian summer as well, which is indicative of this. And they're saying the further north you go, they say when you rest and reflect, it's going to come in a lot sooner. When you allow and not allow that other stuff, that's gone. That's why the hair is shaved. And somebody, like, it's been serious if it's making my eye itch. My eyes don't itch. This coming in. This like youthfulness, lift your head up, my friend. Let this benevolence of life love and serve you. Because there comes a time to be served, to be restored. Because you have a lot to give this world, especially when you know that you matter. You are valuable, you are important. Not just what you bring, but you, the who. Who? You, my friend. I'm excited about that. I hope this has brought healing salve into you and has released you from that cycle, that perpetual winter, that karmic, that conditional thing, that's how it's always been, so that's how it'll always be. There's a new day here, and it's here for us all. And that seems to be the message of life coming forward to you, because what is under that garden in the gate is this fresh wind, babe. Like new oxygen for you. I love it because they were talking about Pisces, like fish swimming up in the air where you breathe in the fresh air and not having to suck anybody else's poop and waste product. Like your dreams coming to life. Resuscitating your dreams. All right, I'd love to chat with you down below. Hey, hit that like button for me while you're here. Please help us rise to the top. And if you enjoyed this, subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here, part of this, bringing in the vision to our world. I love you, friend. We'll talk soon. Bye.